Welcome. So now we're going to take a look at motion systems. Motion systems ensure consistency and speed across your team. It's a great way, just as design systems have revolutionized, design and building UI interfaces. Well, turns out that motion has always been the missing part of design systems, and we thought it should be included. So now you can have your entire design system, including motion, as a motion system here in the LottieFiles workspace. But they also live in all of our other plugins and tools. So I will start here with you go here to the motion systems tab, and you can create a new system from here, right? You can start by importing the information or just starting from scratch or from a sample. Or in my case, I already have one created here. You can add different sections into a motion system. These sections can be, and let me show you, let's edit this system so you can take a look, right? And these sections can be documentation, colors, easing parameters, fonts, motion presets that you might have created in Lottie Creator, and assets, full Lottie animations. So I have created kind of like a section for everything. Starting with the documentation, we have here kind of like an explanation on how these assets should be used and kind of like what we're aiming for, right? It works as a central place where people can refer to in order to know what they need to build. With colors, I got my primary, secondary, neutral colors, even gradients. And to add a color, it's as simple as, picking the right color or gradient, give it a name, give it a description, and that's it. Just save it. Right? So just like that, you can add your colors, and these colors will be then accessible from Creator, from the Figma plugin as well. So you can insert into Figma, apply a color, apply a text style, right? And also from our After Effects plugin as well. Here we have an easing parameters section, right? So an easing section here where you can define your baser curves, and you can make them your own and customize them here. Give them the effect or the name of the effect, add a description explaining how they can be used, when they should be used. And from there, you can create different kinds of acceleration and deceleration curves that you can apply to your motion. Then we have motion presets. And from here, it's going to be slightly different. You cannot create them from here. You need to create them in Creator first and then save them as a motion preset. And from there, you can add it up. So if I wanted to add a different one, let me find from a different workspace here and say, hey, this particularly spring one that we like, I'm going to add it to this system, and it's now here. So that's how you add them, and then all these motion presets will be available to you in Lottie Creator, in our Figma plugin, in our After Effects plugin, making it really, really easy to ensure consistency and to start creating motion. Font styles, same deal. You can add a font style, pick a Google font, or even drag one and create styles from there. Give it a name, define what variant of the font you're going to use, the font size, line height, letter spacing, and then a little description as well, explaining how this font, or this text style can be used. Save it, add it to your collection, and then you'll have your fonts available. Also available on Figma as well. And then we have assets, and you can create as many of these sections as you want. You can create multiple font sections, multiple color sections, right? And multiple asset sections. I have two here, one for our weather animations and one for our full animation assets. And from there, these are full assets that then can be brought in wherever they're needed. So that's the core overview of motion systems, but let's actually build something with this. So I have here a brand new animation. And from here, what I want to do is that I want to add like a little background, right? So I'm going to make like a little background rectangle here. And I'm not sure which color should I use for the background, probably a neutral one. So I can come here to a motion system, right? So let's try that now. And I can pick the one that I was using and say, hey, let's try with this darker one maybe. Yeah, let's try that one. All right, so I have my background created already. Cool. And then I'm going to write a little text saying, I don't know, welcome to LottieFiles or something like that. Right. And I have created this text, and I'm not sure. First of all, we cannot even read it. So let's give it a color, and I'm going to go back to my motion system, right, and ensure that we have, right, and just apply this, and it can apply to a token as well. So if the main color of this turns out to be a token, which you can create here, apply a token and create a new token here, right? And say, call it main color. Now this token can then, be used to replace this, right? So let me just write it a little bit better and center it. That's it. That's kind of what we want. Lovely. So now that I got this, let me go back then to Motion Systems and apply the color. All right, so let's say I want to do secondary now. I can say override the token, and then we'll grab then the token will be changed, and then wherever that token is, you will get that animation. So let's do a couple of little stars. Let's say that I'm want to try to move around. So I'm going to have, let's say, 4 little stars, and I'm going to apply some effects to them. Right, so I have created these 4 stars here. And with them, what I'm going to do now is that I'm going to grab 2 of these, and I'm going to apply a different color to this. So going back to my motion system, I can then apply the primary color for this. So I need to apply one by one. So I will go here and boom, applied. Right, and then I gotta make sure that this is also a token. Just to and say here, secondary color. Let's say. All right, and secondary color, and then I can grab this and say, hey, let's apply a token, and let's apply secondary color to this one as well. And now these are linked, right? And then I can go here, right, and say to this two, apply a token, let's apply main color to this. Right, turns out that if I wanted to change this by any chance, I can come here, right, and say, hey, I need to invert this a little bit. So you can go to Motion Systems and say, hey, this is the primary color. Actually, I will override this token, and then it all changes. And then I gotta say, hey, the secondary color is the one that I want to change. So I will grab something with the secondary color, apply the motion system, and say, okay, this is the secondary. Let me override that token. Changes it everywhere where that token is. Cool. So now I need to make sure that this is the right text in the right format. So I can use one of our typography and fonts. And let's say this is gonna be my heading 1, and I'm gonna apply it. And boom, you can see the font has changed to the right size, right? Everything there. And then I can just apply some movement to this. So I can go grab one of these and go to my motion presets, right? And say I want to have something that kind of like does like a little bouncy there. So let's apply that, right? And I want to go to this one and I'm going to apply the same, right? So I can go here, pick it up again, and let's do a different one for this. I will say for this one, we want to have, let's say, this start free motion that just kind of like bounces around a little bit, or this one, min wipe. Yeah, I think I like that one better. And you can see all the frames are being created here. And as I play this animation, let's end up with this one and take a look, right? So I will do like a little bouncy effect here. So let's go try to find that bouncy drop ball and bounce. Okay, that's gonna be, sounds cool. So you can see all keyframes are being applied. So now if I run this animation can have all the effects going on there, right? So let's wait for it to run again. And you can see this kind of bounce in, this kind of like flipped in, and this one is just, flop in there. So very quickly, I could create a full animation following the guidelines that have been set up for me using my motion system, ensuring consistency and speed. And that's really the great power of motion systems. If you go to our Figma video, in our Figma video, you will see how this can also apply to any Figma layer and bringing then design systems across multiple platforms. Thank you.